medicines and like necessities, and it'll be put right outside of Catrax. And the idea there was so that once Catrax closed, you could still go to this hub for certain toothpaste, stuff like that. So I'll keep you close on that, as will Jack. When you keep planning, that it seems like we have only one date that's going to work for all three schools right now, and that's January 31st. If that means that we have to push it further out, that might be a thing too, but we just have to keep in mind the big old Michigan conference. So we have a few weeks to figure that out. I'll work with you guys closely. Thank you for staying tuned in. I've also had some students reach out to me in like various formats about just the political climate, not only on campus, but in the world. And they wanted to know what we as ASNMU could do about it. So one of the things that I think we should really be doing is keeping an eye out for certain events that are good for civic discussion. Because that was one of the main points that was brought up to me when a student came to talk was, I just want to talk to people. Even if they disagree with me, I want to talk to them, and I think we need more discussions. And how does ASNMU facilitate that? I don't know, I need your guys' help. However, I know of an event that our advisor here, Dr. Wilson, is a panelist in. So they're showing, it's a documentary about the history of our country, I believe, and
the American Revolution.
The American Revolution.
Right. It is Ken Burns documentary. It's next week, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, Northern Center, followed by a panel discussion.
Yeah, and discussion is welcome and encouraged at this event, right?
Yes.
So I think, if we could keep things like this on our radar, if anyone has things like that during good of the order, if they want to get it out to students as much as possible, that's great. I know Student Affairs has also talked about certain civic engagement events, so if there's any support that I can give you in that realm, more than happy to do so. Kind of also on the civic realm, we've had multiple judiciary applications in the past few days, so that's been great. I have had one interview, and I have 3 more interviews scheduled. So looks like we're gonna get a full judiciary here coming soon, which is super exciting to hear about. Other than that, just a few office updates. We do have the promotion table out. I just put stickers and some cards that Mr. Kapla gave me from the counseling center, things like that. Anything NMU resource oriented or ASNMU oriented should go out there. I think that's up to all of our discretion. Meeting minutes and agendas are being posted right above it, thanks to Alyssa. So if people aren't really tech savvy, they can just walk up there and see last week's meeting minutes. So that'll be a super cool addition. And then I've had a lot of questions about if ASNMU is moving soon because of the new Hardin update. So I just thought I'd let everyone know that as far as I know, in the conversations that I had over the summer, ASNMU is set to move to the basement of Hardin. However, I don't know what the timeline looks like on that, and I haven't had a conversation about that super recently. So I will begin to start enlivening that conversation again. I was told that we would be. Lastly, happy Halloween to everybody. Be safe this weekend and have so much fun.
Thank you, Cassidy. Any questions or comments for her? Alrighty, we can go on to our vice presidential report with Sienna.
Have some more appointments written up for tonight, and then I also reached out to Mary Brundage and the new IT help desk on the Find Your Friends app proposal, and I'm still waiting on response.
So yeah, any questions or comments for Sienna? Alrighty, Tommy, take it away.
All right, hello everyone. ASNMU's current balance budgeting is $8,378.07. And for the Student Finance Committee, I'll just preface this by saying over the last month, the administrative side of SFC has been auditing earmark fund groups. That includes like the cinemas, our gallery, platform personalities. Because over the last few years, there's been some approved absorptions, the money that they don't spend comes back to us, but due to like personnel changes and what have you, those absorptions did not occur. So, over the last month, I've been working to get that back, and that has been updated as of this week. And so, Student Finance Committee's current balance is now $111,974.43. That being said, SFC is just continue doing what it has been doing, serving its mission, and allocating funds from the student activity fee.
Any questions or comments for Tommy? Oh, Ruby, go ahead.
So like that is a collection of like previous year's worth and like that, and now they have a process where that will happen.
Theoretically, that they should have that process in place so that
I'm wondering if this will ever happen. We're like gonna see, like, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
hope
like,
not. I hope not. But it's honestly hard to.
Okay.
Any more? Oh, sorry, Tommy.
You're good.
Any more questions or comments for him? Alrighty. For my report, couple of things. Grad closet. We have had those responses, so I will be tomorrow on my office hours, and I'll be in there doing inventory on them. And then I know Jack and I have talked about he will be sending emails out soon about the people who have submitted their responses, and getting back to them so they can pick up their gowns. The Constitutional Convention Committee, we plan tentatively right now. It's looking like Fridays at 5 to 7, which is less than ideal, but it's also the time that just works for us. So you guys get that. That's why we're here right now. So we'll either be starting, we're likely starting those regular times next week. But this week is Halloween. So, and then I'm excited. I'm ideally being appointed to the General Education Council. So I look forward to giving you guys updates from that. But yeah, that's all for me. Any questions or comments? Awesome. Let's get going with some new business. We have committee reports, and we will start with our Student Affairs Chair, Jack.
All righty, good evening. Let me start by talking about our first upcoming event, which is our plan to do a fall hike at 1 p.m. on November 8th. I sent all of you a Gcal invite, so while I'm reading this report, if you haven't already, please go into, I believe it shows up on your Google Calendar, potentially Canal as well. Not entirely sure how that gets to you, but it should be there somewhere. Please go in and respond to that if you haven't already, because I'm proposing a budget for that, and I don't want to propose a budget for something that no one's going to be at. So while you're answering that, I'll go over the rest of my point. So we're hoping that we can hike Sugarloaf for students and begin PR on that soon. Like I said, the budget of that proposal will be this evening. But we've already kind of discussed this idea informally, and you all seemed on board, so hopefully we can get them fairly quickly. My plan would be we could carpool from the lodge at 12:30, make sure that we have like the rides and cars and stuff that we need, and then we can get there around like 1 o'clock, and then have some donuts and cider afterwards, just talk to constituents in kind of a less formal environment, doing something fun, like that sort of thing. I think it's a good way to connect with students, and the more ways we can connect with students, the better. Talked about it a bit last week, but we're looking to do something Thanksgiving fall related, potentially Friday, November 14th. I thought we're figuring out when that's going to be and what exactly that might entail. And if people have ideas on what kind of things you'd like to do, I think turkeys or stuff like that, just let me know. Here, Michaela will talk more about it, but we've kind of been working with the state, trying to figure out where we can fit the schedule. So we've got a lot of upcoming events. Tom has also talked about working campus cinema, so we get out. The point being, Student Affairs has been very busy in the next 3 to 4 weeks, sponsoring different events all across campus. We continue to be very successful in our ongoing programs such as the Period Project, and then I'm exploring bringing back the ASW Art Contest, and that was very popular in years prior when we had it. So if we are in support of that idea, and we want to get PR on that, ASAP. I will write a budget for prizes kind of as we get closer to the end of the month. Probably next week, I can get a budget out for that. I kind of wanted to get, general support for that, for the assembly and the formal conversation for that. So that's a good idea. I just want to make sure that that's something that someone wants to support. Unofficially, I've made the first theme home away from home, because it's kind of gonna be, obviously, December is a short month, so it's gonna kind of be that Thanksgiving, Christmassy time, remembering like we're a community of family, that sort of stuff. But the contest as a whole, I would like to focus on physical, mental, spiritual, emotional health, kind of all those elements in there, and then I figured it appropriate if we give prizes to the top two for the art submissions, which I believe we've done in the past through this competition. The goal would be to suggest suggest any type of art form, like however you want to creatively express these ideas about health and stuff like that. I think it's really cool. So I'll hopefully work with PR to make sure we get the word out about that, and I'll actually patch a budget next week. Discussion. So I'm really excited to bring this back. And I'll work with PR and help them out as much as possible. Make sure the word gets out. I know Melissa was interested in talking too, but she's not here today, so we'll hopefully make that. The month of November into the short month of December. Then, as I've said before, I'm not gonna go over them for the 15th time, but it's a little drive if we can reference it. Each of our members are continuing to work on their own events, and so if you wanna find details and notes about those, there are meeting notes for every one of our meetings, if we do the drive, if you'd like to check that out. And like Callie said, we'll be discussing probably after this, Brad closing things to make sure we get those emails out ASAP. I'll work with student affairs to make sure we have those times that people can walk in, those items. So that process will be, getting going, I guess, soon, kind of a rollout process for that. And then, Cassie mentioned a lot about it already, but as far as the, vending machine goes for Plan B and those other products, they're looking at meeting with me, Cassidy, and potentially some other members like that kind of week before finals to talk about like how we can get that information out to campus, making sure that like all the equipment is working, like making sure prices are set, like all that stuff. And they're hoping to get it installed like the first couple of weeks, and ready to go for next semester. So it's really exciting to hear. It's been a program that working on for the past like a couple of years, potentially more. So I'm really hoping that we can take that up and have that up running by January. So Cassie and I will be close contact with Wellbeing, the health center, and all the involved in this. And student affairs will be the ones potentially in support of the educators, but mostly student affairs will be the ones to kind of restock the machine. It's a bit of a complicated process, so they're still trying to work out all the logistics of that. But we'll be in contact with them and we'll discuss kind of the way that student affairs can best make sure that those machines are stocked and best support the student bodies. So that's where we're at. Okay. So as always, reach out to me with any questions, comments, or concerns. Hopefully most of you responded to the calendar invite. It looks like most people said yes to the type of your reps, or at least enough people where I think it's feasible. So we can go ahead and hopefully pass the proposal and budget for that shortly. And then if anyone has suggestions for art contest prizes, or if they have any suggestions for like things you'd like to see at the Thanksgiving event, whether it's Thanksgiving turkey, a Charlie Brown movie, like whatever you see, either come find me, like you can say something now, you can find me at the TA or shoot me an email. So, any questions, comments, concerns about our work?
Michaela,
So my event that was. Sorry.
no, you're okay.
My event that was going to schedule. Escape, like you, a lot of events on the that. Probably the days that will turn out for students. So I've gone through. And I think the best date to. Fine. So if anyone has preferences on.
I also recommend tentatively sending out some tentative Google Calendar invites. Just see people's responses on that. That seems to be working. So that just goes for everybody, honestly, in the future. But thank you, Michaela. Any other questions or comments on Jack's report? Okie dokie, we will move on to our academic affairs report with Penn.
Okay, start, two new members, Eddie and Gabe, welcome last week's meeting. And, coming up and see what they're introduce them, what's going on. Our next meeting should be held in the ASME office. Time is still to depending on, some commonality available. So the main topic from last week was inviting TEDx to come host an event at Northern. TED is in TED Talks, you guys don't know. TEDx is an event where they participate for the institution or university to provide a lecture space for students, faculty, and staff. I could get the license for this. However, since I've never been to a TED qualifying event, we can't have more than 100 people show up, or than I think like 5 people present. They want someone from a university position, like faculty or staff, who's been at a qualifying TED conference to do it to get more than 100 people. And even if we did, they want to charge like $50 a person to come in. So I scrapped it because it's a lot. They're not very receptive towards it. And it seems like it's reserved for universities like in Brussels more than something in Northern. I was going to reach out to, I forget her name, but the president of CMU. Yeah. Well, we met her at a conference. She hosted it at Central, but I'm pretty sure she's also been to. So interesting situation. In response to that, I wanted to work on a similar lecture-based event that centers around departments and colleges at NMU itself. Student spotlight, a conference perhaps that allows students of any discipline to present their work in a variety of media, posters, lectures, seminars, screenings, a gallery. Else, questions on that, let me know. I'll continue to work with the committee on that. Also think we should be able to work towards a postgraduate kind of academic fair. Be a good time to highlight Dana and Ryan's talk here tonight, and then also some graduate schools to visit, help with admissions. That time frame is slipped this year, but it's good to get early on that starting next semester. And then alongside with the lecture space, I feel like talking with Northwind on establishing a section in the articles or a separate media towards intellectual work or some academia journals. Students, they can get a better way of publishing their papers without these big journals. They're very intimidating, pricey at sometimes. So I feel like having this way for students to express their intellectual work would be important towards academic. But continue to work on this and talk more committee for next week.
Any questions or comments for Ben? Sweet, thank you, Ben. We will go on to our external affairs report with Amelia.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so for external affairs, we just met yesterday. And I updated my group on the fact that considering the demand and amount of time that Wildcat Wallet is taking, I've decided to make our meetings weekly instead of bi-weekly. However, obviously, like we kind of with that, some certain scheduling needs to be changed. So we'll continue meeting bi-weekly until we're able to time everyone. And also, I really want to make use of the full hour that we have to dedicate it to Wildcat Wallet and making sure that we are contacting businesses in a space where it is possible to ask questions, to like read out drafts, make sure that we're all comfortable with what we're sending, making sure the information is all correct. Versa. Like I said, that's just so that we use our time as wisely as possible, and so we're not needing to take more time out of our operating lives to dedicate it to trying to get a hold of people who may or may not want to talk to us. Speaking of which, with Wildcat Wallet, I'm still working on gaining access to. Great. I'm still working on getting access to the website. It is a while. Everything's painful. I said that. We have almost finished our first round of contacts. We've been good. As far as I'm aware, we've gotten almost mostly yeses to do project, which is very, very good. We've had lots of businesses that historically on Methodist no, they've changed their mind, which is also really good. And I've had a few more confirmations today, and I'll be talking with people tomorrow. Business day, business hours, because of the official. However, we still are working on a few of our contacts of businesses who have yet to respond at all. And also we've been dealing with some changes where it's like complicated. I went through with all of my reps yesterday, we reported on who we contacted, who has responded, vice versa, like I said. And with the clear agenda that the first week should have contacting, and then the second week for following up if someone has yet to respond to that we're schedule. We assigned new businesses, and Michaela has been so kind to help me with the contract and Elliot.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
This is just, so now that we've started getting confirmations, we eventually want to be getting else. This is essentially a binding contract so that they don't randomly decide to like out of it. Or if there's a change that we haven't lined up, as well as the fact that on the agenda, we also have business registration form, which allows us to keep track of all of the information. My comment on this, to keep track of all of the information regarding and that we have for businesses in a file, tangible evidence. They said yes to this, and not just contract, just kind of to keep people organized and functional. We also talked about a little bit about 1UP and how external affairs wants to have a little, like, to make sure that we have a part in it. Nothing too in depth about that. We did talk to Cassie about how it would be, how it's been passed, how we can dedicate time, etc. And sure that, yeah. So that's pretty much what's going on with external affairs right now. It's a main focus on our and I did want to ask about the contract though. I wanted to make sure that that wasn't something that and it wasn't like it was just something that we had, it wasn't something as an assembly.
I don't think there's anything like written about that answer. I would say that external affairs is in charge of that project. So if you guys want to vote on it, that's beautiful. Any questions or comments for Amelia? All right, sweet beans. Thank you to all of our reporters today. Amazing. Love to see it. We will be moving on to appointments, starting with Ben to the Scholarships and Fellowship Committee, presented by Sienna.
As Vice President of the Associate Students in Northern Michigan University, I have appointed Ben Brock to the Scholarships and Fellowships Committee. I believe Ben's dedication, passion, and teamwork skills make him an excellent candidate, and I'm confident he will be a valuable addition to the committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. The appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Do I see any questions, comments, or motions? Tom?
Motion to vote.
Riley. Alrighty, this will be a closed vote, everyone. Alrighty, that was approved. Moving on to our next appointment. me to the General Education Council by Sienna.
Vice President of the Associated Students in Northern Michigan University, I'm appointing Hallie Johnson to the General Education Council. I believe Hallie's dedication, communication skills, and passion make her an excellent candidate, and I'm confident she will be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Questions, comments, motions? Benti? Any seconds? Michaela? Alrighty, this will be closed. Alrighty, this was approved unanimously. Or I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. This was approved. All right, next appointment will be Addie to the External Affairs Committee by Sienna.
Associate Students of Northern Michigan University, I'm appointing Addie Caswell to the External Affairs Committee. I believe Addie's creativity, passion, and commitment make her an excellent candidate, and I'm confident she'll be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Questions, comments, motions? Michaela? Whoa, Riley, sorry. I don't know. I saw you go up first, almost go up. Anyway, I'm Riley. Michaela. Alrighty, this will be a closed vote. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. 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 Thank you. Sorry, I do know your name. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Excuse me. Really are. But yes, I am. So I'll give it. Thank you. Alrighty, this was approved. I don't remember. Next appointment. Also adding to the grad program committee. Yeah. By Sienna.
Vice President of the Associated Students in Northern Michigan University, I'm appointing Addie Pavlo to the Graduate Programs Committee. I believe Addie's status, passion, and drive to bridge the gap for grad students make her an excellent candidate, and I'm confident she'll be a valuable addition to this committee. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a 3/4 vote by the General Assembly.
Questions, comments, motions? Amelia? Tom?
Second.
All right, this will be closed vote. Thank you. Alrighty, this was approved unanimously. Next appointment will be Gabe to the Constitutional Convention Committee by Cassidy.
Great, I'm appointing Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, Cebulski, awesome, to the Constitutional Convention Ad Hoc Committee. As a newly appointed member of the GA, Gabe has shown a high level of attention to detail already and cared for his position as outlined in the Constitution. He attended GA meetings prior to his ASNMU appointment, which illustrates his desire to be involved. I believe that his character and drive will serve this committee well. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. This is a majority. Oh, simple majority.
Alrighty. Questions, comments, motions? Ben?
Motion to vote.
Tom? Brady? Alrighty, this was approved. Next appointment, also to the Constitutional Convention Committee, Noah by Cassidy.
I'm appointing Noah Sabalski to the Constitutional Convention Ad Hoc Committee, excuse me. As a pre-law student with a strong legal mindset, Noah has shown consistent interest in ASMU's constitution and governing structure. Prior to his ASMU appointment, he also attended GA meetings regularly, showing his passion for student representation, and he brings a thoughtful, analytical perspective that will strengthen the committee's work. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. This appointment requires a simple majority vote of the General Assembly.
Questions, comments, motions? Ben T? No, Nick. Why do I keep doing that? I'm so sorry. Ugh. Tom. Thank you.
Just keep Alyssa on her toes over here.
No, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, everyone. Yeah, it's a late night.
Someone has value.
Actually, someone passed me. Thank you. All right, this was approved. Alrighty, proposals. Fall hike from Jack.
I already talked about this in my report before, since we already talked about this informally, and I'm gonna be before everyone's tired, I'm gonna try and make it as fast as possible. To recap what I already discussed, it is November 8th, meeting at 12:30 in the lodge. I have 4 people saying yes, and then like 10 of you tentatively saying yes, so hope the tentatives can make it. But even with 4, I think that's still a good enough turn. I was in line with like what we're doing and like, why does it matter? We're reaching students in a fun, informal way, kind of outside of our office space, connecting with them in a different way. And I mean, who doesn't love a good fall hike with students? So, you get the fun and the, engagement aspect. We'll talk tomorrow with PR, but I'm hoping to have some promotional materials released for that. The budget is listed below, which we'll talk about in probably a minute or two, so that's awesome. As many volunteers as possible are needed. The more of you that are there, the more engagement we do, the more fun it'll be. Yeah, any questions, comments, concerns about the event itself before we talk about the budget in a few minutes?
Anybody? Awesome. This is just like a proposal. Like this doesn't need any like voting on. So that, yeah. Thank you, Jack. Budgets, starting with Ben and business cards.
So business cards for me, Jack, Amelia, Ruby, and then Tommy. Tommy, would you want treasurer or chair of student finance committee?
Both is, yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Alright,
You can just do chair of SFC,
okay.
you know,
Perfect.
treasurer and chair of
We'll
SFC.
just make sure to amend that. The quote from printing services was $44.11 for 100, which comes out to a total of $220.05.
Dana.
I have a question. I think we didn't do this cards and also if you're getting 100, like what was you using them for?
I
What?
myself have already tore off about 10 pieces of paper this year, and I feel like we'll go through a lot of them. Still being early in the academic year as well. 100 was kind of the basic number they got. We can lower that, depending on what Green Sources says, but I feel like if we have them.
Gabe.
Oh, it's-
No, sorry, Ben. Sorry. The panic.
Paper than I guess maybe you've already used more than I thought, but by the time like these get in, you only have a couple weeks of this semester and then it's just winter semester. I have a very hard time believing everyone 100 business cards, but like Jack said, it is late, so if we all just wanna vote, then we have to show that we do. So.
Amelia.
Really quick about that. I will say business cards would be incredibly helpful with certain law at once. Because it doesn't mean, it means that like I just give people my information versus having to. Like Jeff said, not like Ben said, honestly, like try take the extra step to it's nice just to have it. And it's also like if it has the office phone number, that's also good. So obviously it's up to you guys, but I will say I think it's totally value. I don't know.
Ruby, no clue.
Yeah, I don't know. Kathy, if you wanna add on, Kathy direct me 100 for the number, national, the quote that I was by 13 services, but I'm sure. They'll figure it out with that if you want to.
Go ahead. Yeah, Cassidy.
Yeah, so 100 is what, like, the basic they gave me. I'm sure we can inquire and see if they'll like split them up, since we will meet that 100 number, just in a different like way. What, a comment, just thinking out loud, I know Hallie's been voice of assembly for a bit. And she still has a bunch of business cards left, and I know they are.
Yes, thank you.
Where are they? I know.
No, yeah.
I have a bunch left, and I know, like, Dana, I don't know if you, like, how many you ended up with. I feel like 100 is even a lot for like us. So if it is possible to cut down to that 50, then we can all meet in the middle, because everybody brings up their points. But I do think it is important that chairs get them, just so that the stuff that should be going to them goes to them.
I would just add that I want to say last time we ordered business cards, and Ben, I know you just looked at the past budget, so you might know. It was like, I don't know if it was more than 100, but do you know, Ben? Sorry.
I think, cause UNC only got 100 each, and then at that point it was $55 for 100 bags, so they did bring the price down too. But I was gonna suggest, after, well, let's end it.
Yeah, go ahead, Simon.
It's been a while since I've got business cards. At one point, they only did one side, like one, it was a box of a certain amount,
Right.
you couldn't change it.
So that's when I got my business cards, that's what that's how it was with me. And I want to say that was like, I want to say that was more than 100, but I can't say for sure. Jack, yeah, sorry. Gabe.
That,
Printing's,
Dependent on.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, just get a smaller number. Supplies get needed. I'm gonna assume you're gonna need most everyone else.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So as you're kind of going with that.
Ben?
I would motion to table it for now, and I can get it over.
Yeah. Any seconds to that? Nick? Alrighty, all in favor of that, please raise your plaques. Yep, that's everyone. All right, we'll table it. Sweet beans. All right, back to fall hike with Jack.
Okey-dokey. Once again, I'll try and keep this quick. I've kind of gone since we're doing a fall hike with our constituents to have some cider and donuts, because it's fall and food brings people to events. I have 3 gallons of apple cider on here, 2 like packs of mini donuts with like 20 something each in them. And then cup packs came in 36, so any extra cups can go to the office as office supplies. Total cost, even with tax, is only gonna be like $31, so it's not a crazy big budget. The only thing about this would be, I would need someone to go to, I think the best way to this would be the Walmart, whatever you call it, Walmart pickup.
That's exactly what we do.
So if someone that is committed to going to this event would be willing to go and pick that up, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm hoping to get this budget approved and get those supplies to make the event a success. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Ben T. Oh,
Yeah, we'll make sure that it gets picked up and all that.
Amelia? Ben T? Amelia? All in favor? Please raise your plaques. Alrighty, that is approved unanimously. Sweet beans. Jack, in additional details, whoever is going, probably I think Tom might be able to, but don't quote me on that. Just put whoever can pick it up in that, like, and then whoever orders it will know who to like list as a pickup. All right, Canva Pro budget by me. We had Canva Pro before. It ran out because I think it was like a year or so. Let's get it again. I use it. I know Cassidy uses it. PR uses it. Everyone here can use it. So that's an important thing to remember. The login information is in the PR drive. So, and you can use it for other clubs also. So just, that's, and it's $120. We passed it before. So that's a Ben D, sorry. Amelia? All right, all in favor? All righty, that passes unanimously. Thank you all. Let's open the floor to public comment. Do we see any? Public? All right, seeing and hearing none, we can move on to go to the order. Any plaques, Ruby?
In the next few days, I'm gonna send you guys, my goals have the newsletter go out November 1. So those of you who got emails in regards to comments we need from you, please respond ASAP. A couple of them are just like committee, little blurbs. Everything else I think I got, and keyboard, I'll just need an update from you. Should start the email as well. So let me know on that, and then that I'll send an email for everyone to kind of approve, or maybe or just a chat in the group need to like, so we can that up. And then tomorrow, LSU, BSU, and Q&A are having a home day. So it's at 7:30, I believe. Right? Yeah.
Do you know where?
In this,
Yeah, Jared's the
yeah.
Oh, hey, right back, you know where to find it.
Opportunity.
No comes, okay. All right, well, thank you, Ruby. Any more go to the order? Wow, all right, by some miracle, I call this meeting to order at 10:04 p.m. Or adjourn, sorry.
People didn't know.